Support WrestleTalk!
Give us a subscribe.
Thank you for being an awesome pledge hammer on Patreon. WrestleTalk's personal ring announcer, Rodrigo Benitez. King Corbin calls out Roman Reigns' lack of desire. Tyson Fury and Braun Strowman just became best friends. And Sasha Banks returns to in-ring action. I'm Dave, just Dave, and I'm subbing in for Pete today. But fear not, I'll be getting the hot tag back to him next week. In the meantime, I'm wearing a beanie to ease you in better. Sorry about the lack of beards, one step at a time. Do drop a like and subscribe, and click the eye above my head to let us know what you thought of SmackDown. You can choose from Smacknificent, Smacktastic, Smack Bang in the Middle, Smackdowner, and a smack in the face. This is the November 8th, 2019 episode of Friday Night SmackDown in about 4 minutes. With Michael Cole and Corey Graves back behind the desk, King Corbin is first out and his mid-card vortex continues to grow in strength. It sucked in Roman Reigns, who is apparently too busy doing charitable work these days. How dare he? Through miscellaneous technical wizardry, Corbin made Reigns' Titantron bark like a chihuahua, gotta make his opponent feel smaller than him somehow, and told the crowd they'd be able to take home Reigns' excrement in a doggy bag. Keeping it regal, Corbin. Keeping it regal. Next up is the New Day fighting for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships against the Revival. Some classic Revival skullduggery was all for naught, as Kofi landed an assisted Trouble in Paradise on Wilder to crown the New Day as your 7-time WWE Smack... Do you know what? I can't do it. Nobody wants to see that. Yes, the New Day are 7-time SmackDown Tag Team Champions and will go on to face the Viking Raiders and Undisputed Era at Survivor Series. Backstage, Daniel Bryan is approached by Sami Zayn to tell him that he can elevate his career just like he's done for Shinsuke Nakamura. Cue Daniel Bryan thinking. You're gonna see a lot of that this week. Heavy machinery hit the ring and oh my god, it's Imperium! The Europeans are coming! NXT UK are joining in the invasion. Yes, the gang's all here and Imperium takes it to heavy machinery. The New Day are there to make the save alongside Shorty G, Ali, and Apollo Crews. Not sure what horse he has in this race, but hey, nice to see you, Apollo. In a brief interview, Bayley dismisses Shayna Baszler's attack last week as her trying to be relevant, which is bold. With Banks in action later, it's time for Nakamura and Cesaro to take on Ali and Shorty G, and thoughtful Daniel Bryan comes to check out the match. After some nice spots from everyone involved, about 3 different distractions happen all at once to allow Nakamura to nail Ali with a Kinshasa and pick up the win. Daniel Bryan has another little think before walking right back up the ramp, leaving Zayn looking like a spoilt 7-year-old child who got the wrong toy for Christmas. Aww. Nikki Cross versus Sasha Banks is up next, and hello new Sasha music. Bayley is on commentary, but that doesn't stop Nikki Cross from beating the spit out of her and taking her mic to yell something entirely unintelligible. But hey, Manchester seems to like it. In the end, Sasha managed to tap out Nikki to the Banks statement in her first match back. Bayley was all up for round 2 with Nikki, but here comes Shayna again. Yes, the NXT Women's Champion is back to ruin Bayley's life, which she proceeded to do with vicious enthusiasm. Backstage, Sammy wants an answer from thoughtful Daniel Bryan about joining his boy band, but suddenly, the lights cut and the Fiend is here! No, don't worry, no, not me. Still the friend. Yes, Bray Wyatt's Fiend appeared, Sammy dipped faster than a chicken nugget into ketchup, and Daniel Bryan became the latest victim of the Mandible Claw. Tyson Fury is out next in front of his home crowd and calls out Braun Strowman. For a match? Oh no! He wants to form a tag team, and Braun is entirely up for the idea. What is happening? Either way, the B team were the hilariously sacrificial lambs, and Braun and Fury promptly murdered them. Just dead. Done. Dana Brooke and Carmella finally get their shot at Fire and Desire, and a Survivor Series place after Bianca Belair decided to brutalize them last week because she could. And the long-term team of Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose, who've been teaming together since the end of 2017, lost. Yes, Dana Brooke picked up the pinfall after a senton from the top rope onto Sonya. So for anyone who is excited to see Fire and Desire get that push they look like getting, might want to take a rain check. Main event time, and it's King Corbin against Roman Reigns. Roman was on top, but in come Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode for reasons. Cue much distracting and sneaky hits on Reigns before he finally takes down the glorious Shorfs and gets pulled straight into an end of days from Corbin for the win. The show was always going to have a hard time following last week's NXT fan service bonanza, but overall it was a pretty good showing. The matches were solid as a whole, albeit sometimes feeling like not much was actually at stake, and in many cases featuring lackluster endings. However, they did manage to build on the wave of NXT excitement without overdoing it, which was great. At the same time, they pushed some of the focus back onto the top stars, who were absent last week, very nicely. Overall, this episode gets us smack bang in the middle, but like a high one, like the high end of being in the middle, the best of the middle. Look, it was really close this week. If you want to hear about the scrapping of plans on Raw, click the video to the right. And to find out more about a potential major WWE heel turn, then hit the video below that one. And a special thank you to our pledgehammers on Patreon, who you'll be able to see scrolling below me right about now. I've been Dave, just Dave, and that